Some FBI raids go unnoticed, and then there are the ones that leave a mark, the kind that change everything. The one targeting Sean Diddy Combs belongs to the second category. This wasn't a rumor. This wasn't some leaked setup. This was a cold, calculated operation, and what they found that day went far beyond anyone's darkest assumptions. Inside the Park Hyatt suite in New York, nothing gleamed. There was no ostentatious luxury, no sparkling marble floors, no overflowing champagne, just a dimly lit room bathed in a strange red light, sterile yet eerie, and an organized chaos. This wasn't the living space of a billionaire. It looked more like the lair of a man who never thought he'd get caught. The agent started with the simple things. Towels, stained, discarded all over the floor. Then came the bags, not suitcases, but luxury brand shopping bags, torn open and spilling over. And in the middle of that mess, bottles, hundreds of them. Baby oil, rows and rows of it, like shelves in a drugstore. Then came the lubricants, Astroglide, lidocaine gel. None of it illegal technically, but together it painted a disturbing picture. Beside the bottles, medication, Benadryl, a powerful antihistamine known for its sedative effects. Clonazepam, an anti-anxiety drug that causes memory loss in high doses. Unmarked pink pills, and hidden packets filled with pink ketamine and ecstasy. The combination was unsettling because taken together, they can strip away clarity and, most dangerously, consent. Prescriptions? Blurred. Some with fake names, others scratched out, tampered with. No licensed pharmacy would have accepted these. But Diddy had them all, right there. Even a small Louis Vuitton pouch carefully packed. Inside, pills, drugs, emergency contraception. It looked less like luggage and more like a control kit. Then there was the money, piles of cash, not stacked, not counted, just thrown onto a desk like a scene from a movie. $9,000 in bills. Why so much cash? Why here? This wasn't just a hotel room, it was a stage, and every item felt like a prop. But the most chilling discovery hadn't come yet. An external hard drive. Investigators didn't open it on the spot. But the very fact that it was there sent shivers down their spines. In this context, everyone wonders what it holds. Recordings, evidence, blackmail? No one knows. But now, the FBI has it. But that wasn't all. Beyond the objects, there were traces of people. Women's clothing, skirts, underwear, high heels, scattered without order, some still scented with perfume, as if everything had been left in a hurry. And on the bed, a sheet stained with what looked like makeup mixed with other unidentifiable substances. A troubling scene, almost too disturbing to be real. In the bathroom, agents found several bloody towels, rolled up and stuffed behind the toilet. Not enough to suggest a crime scene, but far too much to ignore. No medical reports, no records of recent injuries filed at the hotel. So where did the blood come from? Whose was it? No answers. And then, the photos. In a drawer tucked beneath some harmless-looking papers was a thick envelope filled with photographs. Young women, often half naked, some visibly unconscious, others crying, and in many of them, one detail appeared again and again, a red lamp. That same red light. It wasn't a coincidence. That lamp was also found in the room itself. Its glow bathed the entire place in an eerie red hue. The atmosphere was suffocating, unreal, like a set built for something sinister, a hidden studio, a theater of shadows, control, and enforced silence. Some of those photos, according to a source close to the investigation, were likely taken without the women's knowledge, and that single fact could change everything. In a trial where consent is central, One unauthorized image becomes a devastating piece of evidence. But it gets worse. Inside another suitcase, an agent discovered a handwritten list. Just first names, dates, locations. Next to some of the names, cryptic notes. Obedient, might talk, gone. A checklist, a warning, nobody knows yet. But to prosecutors, that list could become one of the most damning pieces of the entire case. And all the while, Diddy remains silent. He denies everything. His lawyers call it fabrication, a plot, a carefully crafted attempt to destroy his reputation. But objects don't lie, and the FBI continues, slowly, methodically, connecting each dot, building a picture no one can unsee. Because at this point, it might no longer be just a trial. It might be the collapse of an empire. And behind every pulled curtain, what crumbles is a whole system of silence and power. But that wasn't everything the agents uncovered. In one corner of the room, half hidden behind a dresser, they found a small black lockbox. Inside, unlabeled vials, still-sealed syringes, and a worn notebook. On its pages, names, initials, time slots, a precise system, almost clinical, as if every visit, every night, every invitation had been methodically recorded. A source close to the case revealed the notebook was allegedly maintained by a personal assistant, someone whose name had already come up during earlier testimony. This could be a key piece of evidence, not just proof of isolated abuse, but signs of a structured, organized network, calculated, repetitive, systematic. And then came a detail no one saw coming. Tucked in the back of a closet, hidden inside a shoebox, was a phone. Old, no SIM card, but its internal memory was full. Hundreds of files, videos, voicemails, audio notes. The first files analyzed sent chills down the spine, crying, pleading. The voices of women, young, tired, broken. Some said, "I want to go home." Others asked softly, "Why are you doing this?" Direct audio evidence, and more hauntingly, voices without faces, which investigators are now working to identify one by one. And within that digital chaos, one voice stood out. Diddy's, calm, in control, giving orders, correcting, directing, like a conductor orchestrating a symphony of submission. That voice, combined with the images, the objects, the lists, could be the final blow. The FBI has made no public statement, but their silence speaks volumes. Every seized item is a scream no one wanted to hear, until now. Meanwhile, the world watches. Fans begin to doubt. Former collaborators step away. And the icon? He crumbles, not under rumors, but under the weight of evidence. Real, raw, and damning. But the most chilling part wasn't what the FBI saw. It was what they heard. An audio recording found on the old phone was described as the tape that shatters the illusion. You can hear Diddy's voice, clear, firm, almost instructional. He never yells. He explains. He commands, as if he wasn't talking to a human being, but to a possession. "If you scream, no one's going to hear you," he says calmly. "And if you leave, you know what'll happen." That voice, steady and calculated, was identified by several sources as Sean Combs. It wasn't the voice of a man in rage. It was the voice of someone confident in his control. Someone who never feared exposure because he believed no one would dare pull the curtain back. In the same phone, a series of short videos, taken selfie style, show blurred faces, lifeless eyes. Some clips are too dark to make out. Others are too brief to understand what's happening. But one in particular, just 30 seconds long, allegedly made the agent's blood run cold. It shows a woman lying still, not unconscious, just motionless. Her eyes locked on the camera, completely silent. In the background, a man's voice. There's no yelling, no physical violence, just words. And that's what makes it worse. Because it hints at something far more sinister. Not brute force, but invisible power, absolute domination. The FBI hasn't yet released the full contents of what they uncovered, but according to inside leaks, what they're holding isn't just evidence in a domestic abuse case. It's the slow unraveling of an empire built on fear, silence, and untouchability. And this may only be the beginning. But what's truly chilling isn't just what the FBI saw, it's what they heard. An audio recording retrieved from the old phone is now referred to as the tape that shatters the illusion. You hear Diddy's voice, clear, calm, almost instructional. He's not yelling, he's not frantic, he's explaining, he's commanding, as if he wasn't speaking to a person, but something he owned. "If you scream, no one will hear you," he says almost gently. "And if you leave, you know what's coming." That voice, controlled, deliberate, was identified by multiple sources as Sean Combs himself. It wasn't the voice of rage. It was the voice of a man who believed he had absolute control. A man who never feared exposure because he thought no one would ever dare pull back the curtain. On the same device, a series of short selfie-style clips show blurred faces, vacant eyes. Some videos are too dark to decipher, others too brief to fully understand. But one of them, about 30 seconds long, is said to have shaken the federal agents to their core. A woman lies still, not unconscious, just frozen, her eyes locked on the lens. In the background, a man's voice. No yelling, no obvious violence, just words. And that's what makes the scene unbearable, because it implies something far more sinister, not physical brutality, but complete control, silent, psychological, devastating. The FBI hasn't released the full contents of what they've recovered, but according to multiple leaks, what they're holding goes far beyond a simple domestic abuse case. This is the unraveling of an empire built on fear, silence, and untouchability. And what we know so far might only be the beginning. Thanks for sticking with us until the end. Now it's your turn. Do you believe this will finally bring Diddy down? Like, comment, and share if you want more raw truth. And stay tuned for more true celebrity stories.